Okay, I flipped the page to page 7, and now I'm going to do horizontal stretch and shrink and vertical stretch and shrink. I'm going to start with horizontal. Again, horizontal is counterintuitive to what it seems it would be. Right? So it's going to be opposite of what your initial thought process is. Here is the key to writing your horizontal stretch and shrink rules. Y equals f of a times x. What I want you to notice is, again, horizontals in the grouping system, or in the grouping parentheses right here. But this time, the a comes before the x. It's a times x, as opposed to when we did the horizontal shift right or left, it came after the x. Another really key factor is when we do a stretch and shrink for horizontal, it's going to be a factor of 1 over a. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means if a is in here, we're going to take the reciprocal, the factor of the reciprocal when we put it in, and vice versa. So that's tricky, right? It's going to be, you're going to have to think about that as you're working through these problems. Also, when do we know if it stretches or shrinks? All right, it stretches when a is in between 0 and 1. And it shrinks when a is greater than 1. All right. Vertical stretch and shrink. Vertical is always, you're always going to distribute. Okay. And just like that reflection in the x-axis. And here's the key. Y equals a times f of x. Now, again, I want you to notice that a is not in the grouping parentheses for vertical stretch and shrink. It comes before. As opposed to last time when we did the shift up or down, it came after the f of x. Also, really important to know, vertical is just how it sounds. We're not changing anything. It's normal. So, when I stretch it, a is going to be greater than 1, and it shrinks when a is in between 0 and 1. Again, that is totally opposite of horizontal stretch and shrink. Alright, very good. Always you have that to refer to. I am going to go ahead and show number 5 here. And here we go. We have f of x equals the absolute value of x minus 3 minus 5. Alright, so we have this function. Again, it's already been manipulated, and what I'm going to do is continue to manipulate it. So, it says, write for number A, or letter A function g whose graph is a horizontal shrink by a factor, of the graph of f by a factor of 1/3. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, it's horizontal shrink, right? I have a factor of 1/3, so I need the reciprocal. Reciprocal of 1/3 is 3. Okay, so now for A, I'm going to write a rule for G. So I have G of X. I'm not going to have f of x anymore. It's going to change. Equals f of 3x. Again, it goes in the grouping system, in the symbol, right, like above, right? So a is 1/3, but I take the reciprocal as 3. So now I plug it in right there. Okay. Now, from there, all I have to do is replace x with 3x, and then look to simplify. So g of x equals the absolute value of 3x, replace 3x with x, minus 3 minus 5. And now I look to simplify farther. But considering that that term is positive, I have really nothing to do. I am done. There is the answer I'm looking for. Let's go on to B. This time, I'm going to make a function for h of x. So I'm going to change it from f to h it's going to be a vertical stretch of the graph of f by a factor of 2. Again, vertical, I'm not going to take the reciprocal. It is how it is, or how it sounds, or how it's going to be. So vertical stretch actually will come in front. Again, here it is. Y equals a times f of x. So again, it goes 2 times f of x. So now all I'm going to do is put that 2 out in front. So I get h of x equals 2 times f of x. So I'm just going to group the whole entire thing. The absolute value of x minus 3 minus 5. And now, like always, I'm going to look to distribute. And here I'm going to distribute it to in front of the absolute value and to that negative 5. So now what do I have? I have h of x equals 2 times the absolute value of x minus 3 minus 10. Just FYI, we never distribute into absolute values. Alright, we'll distribute into the coefficient, which would be that 1 out in front, which is invisible here. But never into it. I'm going to look to simplify any further, but I can't, so I am done. Voila, there is my new rule for h of x. Alright, I totally understand that these are a little more challenging. It's going to take some practice. But I do want you to try number 6. Give it your best go. Take your time, work through the problem. So please go ahead and pause and try. And when you're done, I'm going to show the answer like I am right now. Alright, number 6, g of x equals the absolute value of 1/5 x minus 1 plus 2. And h of x equals 25 hundredths times the absolute value of x minus 1 plus a half, or 0.5. Okay, what I'm going to do is go ahead and flip it up to page 8. Please go ahead and pause it if you need more time, otherwise stay with me. Alright. Concept number 4. Combining transformations. Alright, well, we are absolutely allowed to manipulate more than one way. We can have combinations of manipulations, combinations of transformations. Generally speaking, they will be in the order of operation. So, like PEMDAS, right? So multiplication would come before addition or subtraction. So yes, you're going to follow the order of operations, but you're also going to see the word followed by, and that is really a key word into knowing the order of which you want to perform these new rules. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through 7, and you're going to go ahead and try 8. It says, or number 7, let the graph of G be a vertical shrink by a factor of 25 hundredths, followed by a translation 3 units up of the graph of f of x equals x. Write a new rule for G. Okay, so the first thing is I don't want to start with G because that's what my rule is asking me to have in the end. I can't use f of x because that's my initial rule, so I have to come up with something different. I am just going to use h of x here. H of x is going to be my vertical shrink by a factor of 0.25. Okay, vertical shrink again is going to come in front, so it's going to be 0.25 times f of x. Okay, so now I'm going to replace f of x with just x. F of x equals x. So now I have h of x equals 0.25 times x, or 0.25x. And voila, done. I can't go any farther, so I'm good there. Next, what I'm going to do is now write my rule for G, because I can see I only have 2 transformations happening. So now I'm ready for G. And G of x equals what? Well, it's 3 units up of what I just did the transformation of h of x. So I'm going to write h of x plus 3. Now all I'm going to do is replace h of x with 0.25x and look to simplify. So g of x equals 0.25x plus 3. And I am done. I can't simplify this at all. And that is it. I'll sell for my marker. Okay. So, combining transformations are going to have more than one. Identify that word followed. Look for what your actual rule is supposed to be for in the end. And you're going to have to pick some type of rule to start with before you get to that end result. Alright, I do want you to try number 8 here all by yourself. Give it a go. And pause it now. Alright, here is your answer for number 8. H of x equals 1/8 x minus 10. Last but not least, we have number 8, and it is a word problem. And again, we do word problems really to illustrate how this can work in a real life scenario. And whether they're good examples or not, that's the idea. So, here we go. You design a computer game. Your revenue x downloads is given by f of x equals 2x. Your profit is $50 less than 90% of the revenue of x. Describe how to transform the graph of f to model the profit. What is the profit for 100 downloads? Alright, awesome. So what I'm going to do is kind of write a little bit on top. So what I'm looking for is profit. And what it's going to equal is 90%, which I'm just going to change to a decimal, 0.9, times my revenue. And then it's going to be $50 less than that, so minus $50. Again, I'm really following order of operations here, right? So, I'm going to change now my profit for P of X to make it function like. And I'm going to keep my 90%. And now what's my revenue? Well, it's really this f of x equals 2x. So I'm going to replace that with 2x and minus 50. Alright, continue on to simplify. P of x equals 0.9 times 2x, and that's 1.8x minus 50, and I have a linear function here. But my next process is this. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to find out what is the profit of 100 downloads. Okay, so I put P of x, or P of 100 actually in, equals 1.8 times 100 minus 50. And I multiply by 100, I move my decimal 2 places over. So I'm just going to kind of move up here. P of 100 equals 180 and minus 50. And now what is P of 100? That is $130. $130. Sorry, that one was too close. $130. Okay, you're really going to follow the exact same process here. So for number 9, read the problem, set it up the same way we did basically, and go ahead and see if you can come up with the answer. Pause it now. I'm going to go ahead and show this solution. Alright, and you should have $375. Alright, that's all the time we have for today, guys. That is lesson 1.2, and good job. Take it easy.